Hello and welcome to All About Danville. I'm Chuck Vipperman.
And I'm Hampton Wilkins.
And we're talking today with Telly Tucker, who is the president, I think is the official title, at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. And we are going to talk about that more than just the beautiful building on the hill, which architecturally, man, that's a slam dunk. I still get goosebumps every time I walk into the Institute. But the Institute now has been here for almost 20 years in its present home. It was formed in the early 2000s by a group of local leaders called the Future of the Piedmont Foundation. And their idea was to have something more than just a think tank here in Danville, but something that would be a facilitator of moving quite literally into the 21st century economy. And the result is IALR. I'll call it just the Institute from now on so we don't go on too long. But Telly, one of the things we've talked about in leading up to this podcast is, $50,000 question. What is the Institute? You cannot answer that in 30, 40 words or less. That's a problem. We, of course, like most localities, measure economic development or economic good news. And, okay, how many jobs you got? How much money you spending, da-da-da-da-da. The Institute is more than just that. So in your best brevity, I suppose, tell us what the Institute's mission is and how people can come to regard it, I guess.
Sure. So thanks for having me, Chuck and Hampton.
You bet.
The Institute is one of 5 higher education institutions in the Commonwealth. We are a political subdivision, and our mission is to be a regional catalyst for economic transformation. Now, that's a fancy way of saying, people say, well, what does that actually mean?
Yeah,
what do you do?
That's the next question. Right?
We have 5 areas that we focus on. Applied research, primarily in biology, applied chemistry, and agriculture. We have a team that works on advanced learning. They work with a lot of our K-12 schools in the region on STEM programs, learning, internships, externships, the GoTech program, if you've maybe heard of that. We have a team that works on economic development, the Southern Virginia Regional Alliance, led by Linda Green. She's housed there at the Institute, and they market the entire region, all the assets in the region, and try to recruit companies and help existing companies grow. The 4th division that we have is the conference center, which probably most people are familiar with. We just had 500 people there last Saturday for the One Team, One Dream event. And we can actually host 750 auditorium-style seating. So full-scale conference center, catering center, and a cafe, Megabytes.
Yes.
Which I know is a favorite of Hampton.
Yes, it is.
All right. And then the last division is the Manufacturing Advancement Division, which we do a host of training for students, some students who come out of Danville Community College or any community college and want to continue to further their training. And then we have also a training program in partnership with the federal government, Department of Defense, and it's called ATDM, which stands for Accelerated Training and Defense Manufacturing. So all 5 of those things, I like to put them all under the umbrella of learning, training, research, economic development.
That's actually pretty good, the last wrap-up. I didn't think you could do it in under 100 words, but I think you might have. The one word you mentioned, I'll get you to follow up on here, is a word I was searching for earlier, catalyst. Again, company A moves in, hires X number of people, spends X number. We get that. But what the Institute does is make that X a little bigger maybe sometimes. Again, a catalyst, making things that are happening better. It's intangible sometimes, but you see it in the people that interact with the Institute who see, okay, I'm thinking about Danville. Boy, look at this Institute. They can offer me this training and get this. So much of it is stuff that the rank and file person doesn't see, but it's happening. It's been happening for 20 years.
We all know what IALR stands for, Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, but it also stands for jobs. It stands for hope. It stands for Danville's future. And I can't thank you enough, Telly, for what you and the Institute are doing for the region.
By design, Hampton, it was designed to sit atop a hill to provide inspiration, to provide hope, to give us a sense of momentum as to how future generations of Danvillians, Southern Virginians are going to support themselves. Yeah. We all remember the days of tobacco and textile and furniture manufacturing in the region. But what does our future look like? And I would just encourage all of your viewers, your listeners, to really take a moment and just stop by. You don't even have to have an appointment. Just pop over and see what's going on at the Institute.
Folks, you could talk to Hampton. They'll set you up for this too. Wilkins and Company, not a problem.
Yeah. So to get back to your question about catalyst, we think about how do we take good to great, or from great to extraordinary, right? And so when we think about the services that we offer, the training, the educational opportunities that we provide, in my mind, they fill gaps that aren't currently being met by something else. So, for example, we think about the wonderful school systems that we have in our district, K-12 schools. They're doing a great job teaching. One of the programs that we work with them on is the Go Tech program, and that's exposing middle school students, and even now some elementary school students, to STEM fields where they have applied learning in the classroom. So they have virtual welding in the classroom. They have tabletop CNC in the classroom.
And this bad boy is expanding as we speak.
Absolutely. 23 schools across 18 communities in Virginia. Really proud of that work. The Advanced Learning team also does internships for students in the summertime, both high school and college students. I think everybody, most of our young people are familiar with the Career Expo down in Chatham that happens every year. Well, now they're doing two. They're also doing one in Hampton, Sydney, and they're serving thousands of kids all across the region, both in Region 3 and the Go Virginia region, but then also up towards the Lynchburg area. We take good to great also in the manufacturing advancement space, because what you might normally get in a 2-year community college advanced manufacturing training program in skilled trades, we have programs like Capstone. We call it the third year of machining, the integrated machining technology program. It goes a step beyond to train people to be the next manager in a company. So if you want to learn more about the managerial side, how do you become the next shop floor leader, that program might be for you. On the applied research side, most people don't know we have world-class equipment that some major universities, research universities, don't have. And so we do everything from help companies in the region that want to do contract research in agriculture or biology. They will contract with our team, Dr. Scott Lohman and his team. And then other times we help recruit agriculture companies like AeroFarms who came to the market. Some of the research and the development in controlled environment ag that we're doing at the Institute is really groundbreaking. It's revolutionary, and companies all over the country and even some internationally are willing to pay for that research.
I'm going to get Hampton to ask the next question because we are keen on ATDM. I don't think people have quite a grip on just how big that is and can be. Hampton, I know you're excited about that.
Well, we've been part of it since it began 6-7 years ago, accelerated training for defense manufacturing. And the impact this program is having, not just on the Dan River region, but on our country. We're filling a need that's been existent now for several years, right, Telly?
Absolutely. I'm thrilled. If you're not familiar with ATDM, I'm thrilled to have this right here in Danville, Virginia. This is a national training program. The federal government, through the Department of Defense, decided to create an accelerated program. It's 4 months of training. It's intensive, 8 hours a day, in one of 5 areas: welding, machining, additive manufacturing, which is similar to 3D printing, non-destructive testing, and quality control, which is sometimes called metrology. So any one of those 5 areas, you can train for 4 months and have a place to live in the River District and transportation provided at no cost to anybody who wants to go through. And the only requirement is you have to have a high school diploma or a GED and apply to the program.
Yeah. Sally, would you touch just for a moment on how we're contacting these students?
So we have a national marketing strategy to recruit all over. We're recruiting everybody from transitioning military to veterans to local students, people who are already working in industry and want to come back and upskill, maybe learn some new skills. And so we do everything from social media marketing, YouTube. We have veteran recruiters who are located in different areas across the United States, looking for people who want a good job in manufacturing that make components for the United States Navy. And so the federal government is going to, they need 100,000 workers in the next 10 years to help build submarines, to help protect the freedoms that we have here in the United States. And if anyone wants to work in one of those fields, ATDM is your program. You can come in 4 months later. We help place you in a job in the defense industrial base. And I'm really proud that local companies are actually hiring talent out of this program. companies like BWXT in Lynchburg, local companies in Danville like Fast Tech, which is located on our campus, Entwistle, a few others that are in town are actually hiring right out of our program.
That turnaround time is insane. 4 months.
4 months.
Incredible.
It's the equivalent of 1 year of community college, compressed into 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, over 16 weeks.
Yeah. Aren't we about to begin 24-hour classes?
Yes. So thank you, Hampton, for reminding me. We are moving towards a 3-shift training schedule. So far, we've been doing primarily first shift. Starting in March, we bring on 2 more shifts of machining and welding, and they'll be doing second shift. By the year 2025, we'll be doing training 3 shifts a day, 5 days a week, 800 to 1,000 people a year.
That's amazing.
Right here in this market. This is a national program, and they had confidence in Danville, Virginia, to run the pilot and to prove the model for this program.
It's amazing. I mean, where we're starting off is pretty amazing. I can only imagine what this is going to be like in just a couple of years. Like you say, just in a matter of months, we're expanding to 24-hour instruction, and Lord knows where we'll take it from there. You mentioned another company, which to me really exemplifies what the Institute is about as a facilitator. AeroFarms is cutting edge. It still blows my mind what they can do, even though intellectually I understand it, I get it. But it's still wild to be able to grow food, good food, that quickly with no soil, just water and light. And the Institute served as, again, here's that word again, catalyst for making this happen. It's gone just in the span of a decade from theory, idea to production. It's an amazing story.
It really is. I had the fortune of helping with my colleague Matt Rowe in Pennsylvania County and Corey Bobays with the city and Linda Green. We all helped recruit AeroFarms here many years ago. And they said from the very beginning, they said, we're a bunch of technology guys who just happen to farm. We're really not farmers, but we're technology guys, right? So what I would say is the technology is the difference maker, right? For all of our young people out there, encourage them to get involved in technology. Because it is changing the future. And you know, even though this is an agriculture, it's food manufacturing. It's still manufacturing. It's just, like you said, without dirt, without pesticides, herbicides, et cetera, they're growing fresh leafy greens and vegetables year round. And if you've never tasted anything that comes fresh, no hands actually touch it anywhere during the process.
That just still blows my mind. You don't have to touch it.
You know, it lasts longer. It's fresher. It has a better taste. And it's healthy. Helping the region become a little more healthy.
And the growing period is a fraction of the traditional growing of soil and sunlight. Absolutely,
because they can control the temperature, the light 24 hours a day. They don't have the cycles that we naturally do with sunrise and sunset and daylight saving time and all those things. So they are. It's truly remarkable, the technology that they're deploying there.
Now, another thing you've mentioned in several of your answers so far is something also I want to emphasize. Partnerships. You mentioned Pennsylvania County. You mentioned the City of Danville's economic development team. You work with Averett. You work with Danville Community College. This is not some big think tank on a hill, even though you're on a hill. You are an integral part of this community. The Institute has and will continue to be not just a facilitator for new business and industry, but an active partner with the people that are trying to do the same things. I can't think of a single venture that you've talked about that did not involve some significant partnership of some kind.
Chuck, that's in our DNA. We are collaborators by nature. We believe in collaboration, and partnerships make it happen. We are not always the subject matter experts in any one field. Right. Our role is to be a convener. We bring people together who have expertise in different areas, and we provide a platform, a space for them to work together. Right. And that's how we achieve new heights, right? Like greater things come to those communities who will be working together as opposed to those who work against each other.
Hampton, I know you wanted to get a question in about megabytes. Go ahead.
No. It's just it's a gem to go out to the Institute and be surrounded by a class, a building, and have wonderful food, very reasonably priced, and a wonderful atmosphere. It's a treat.
It is.
So please, fellows, our viewers, come out and visit the Institute.
And one of the questions I get often, Hampton, is do I have to be coming there to a meeting to get lunch? And I tell people, no, we have people come off the street every day just to get lunch. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we have a hot bar, full salad bar. They change the menu weekly. On Mondays and Fridays, you can order pizzas, wraps, sandwiches, etc. My favorite are the cookies, Hampton.
Yeah, it is one of the best kept secrets for an eatery in our region.
Yeah, the first time I ate there, I thought, boy, this is good restaurant here. I mean, where's the neon sign of advertising it? But another component of the institute we haven't even touched on, we just mentioned it, is the conference center capabilities. One of the benefits of this, again, we did not have the capability before the institute of having an event with several hundred people, but also you have been able to leverage that into, well, for lack of a better term, bringing a lot of intellectual capital to Danville. A lot of smart folks get together here in Danville and talk about some real highfalutin stuff sometimes, and that's good. That's just a good thing to have in your city. A lot of guys and girls talking high-tech stuff, highbrow stuff, if you want to call it that, but they're doing it right here. We've had conferences on industrial hemp production, on just about anything under the sun. And again, here's that role again, catalyst.
Absolutely, Chuck. We have so many creative people in the region, so many creative entrepreneurs, people who are thinkers, who are studying, who are developing new technology and intellectual property, folks even coming from Research Triangle Park down in North Carolina, the Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro area. They're coming up to a place like Southern Virginia because we've kind of gotten a reputation as this is a place that can be a catalyst to help you grow your idea, your business. And so we're happy to provide a space for people to get together and talk about the possible, right? What inventions are going to happen that completely change our life for the next, 50 years, right? Everybody remembers the evolution of things like Uber and, ride sharing and now even meal delivery, all those things have revolutionary and changed the way we live, right? Sure. The way we consume, the way we travel, so what's going to be next, right? Like we want to be at the center and the forefront of let's provide a place for people to innovate right here in the Southern Virginia.
I'll tap into your background in economic development, former economic development director here in the city, also in Northern Virginia, before coming back to the Institute. Telly, this is quite a quiver to have, quite an arrow to have in the quiver when somebody is trying to entice company A to locate into the Danville area to say, okay, we've got this institute here. Here's what they can do for you. Hard to put a dollar amount on that, I'm guessing.
It really is. It's such a it's hard to measure the value of that for a company. But we tell everybody, this is the communities, this is the Regions Institute. I want everybody to speak of it in first person as, this is my institute, right? Our companies are the same way. We encourage them to utilize our conference facilities, our conference rooms, our breakout rooms, our catering services, the technology, the innovation, the training that's there. We were created to be a value to help transform the economy in the region. And so with every decision we make, with every program we have, we ask ourselves, is this moving the needle in terms of improving the lives, the quality of lives for people who live in this region? And that's why we were created. So absolutely, this is an amenity, an asset for the region, for the entire region. And I would say even now, the entire Commonwealth and beyond to utilize as an asset to improve.
And I know, Hampton, your involvement in the Institute goes back quite a bit. You've been one of its biggest champions and cheerleaders over the years. I'll just get a personal comment from you. You've got to be gratified that this theory that started being floated around here about almost 25 years ago now has not only become true, but probably beyond anybody's wildest dream in terms of its reach.
Of all the things that I've been involved in my entire life, the Institute has been, I guess, the crown or the jewel in my crown. We love it. And this just didn't happen, Telly. We didn't wake up one day and say, oh, we got the Institute and the ATDM program and Caesars is coming to Danville. This took a lot of hard work and planning by people that cared about Danville's future. Yeah. And I won't name them all now, but there are some that are paramount in this, and we will address that in our next interview.
Look into your crystal ball, Telly. Get the clouds out of the way here. What 5 years, 10 years down the road? What's shaking? I've asked you an impossible question. I know that, but in terms of what more the Institute can do, what are some of the dreams that are floating around on the hill there?
Well, Chuck and Hampton, first, I want to piggyback on Hampton's comment. We can't do what we do without amazing partners. And Hampton's being modest, Wilkins is one of those amazing partners. And he is not paying me to say that. I just want to say that because we couldn't do the ATDM program, for example. We couldn't do ATDM without partners like Wilkins Realty. And I want to thank him and his entire team for that. As we look to the future, we're going to be growing to 800 to 1,000 trainees in ATDM by 2025. There's a new building that is, we are probably going to be breaking ground within the next month or two. So look for new construction to be happening. It's been a 100,000 square foot plus building on our campus to house the ATDM program. Similarly, when we finish, there will be a component of a decommissioned submarine on the campus.
That's
which is a really cool
neat
feature and an acknowledgement, a tribute to those who've made the ultimate sacrifice in terms of protecting our country and our freedoms. So that's really exciting. We believe that building will be completed by 2025. With all the work that's going on in manufacturing optimization and something I haven't talked about, Industry 4.0, which is the implementation of automation and robotics into if I had to look in a crystal ball, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some robots on campus doing things that are going to be really cool for the young people to come and see and witness and be a part of, and maybe even program and learn about how manufacturing advancement is happening, and including things like robots. So really cool. If you can think of the Jetsons times, none of our young viewers will know the Jetsons, but if we think about some of the things,
we just aged ourselves.
If you think about some of the things that they said would be the art of the possible in the future, many of those things we're doing today. And so I'm really excited to see what the future
25 years ago, I could not have imagined a company like AeroFarms. I'm sure some theorist had brought, hydroponic, I know that's been a thing for a time, but to do what they do, I don't think 20 years ago was it within the realm of possibility. And now here they are at the Institute. It is amazing. Hampton?
Well, just another comment. Danville is being looked at from around the Commonwealth. Danville will reclaim its rightful place as an economic force in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm confident of that, and in great part because of the Institute.
It's going to play a major role in that.
Yeah, and we have everyone's I say we, the Dan River region has everyone's attention in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Telly.
Absolutely. And the message gets communicated far and wide because of the partners we have. A few folks on the board that I want to make sure that I mention. The president of Danville Community College, Dr. Wallace, is on our board. Dr. Tiffany Franks from Avon University is on our board. Dr. Greg Hodges from Patrick and Henry out in Martinsville is on our board, and a host of others. We're just really to have that kind of expertise as part of your board and helping create leadership. I'm just blessed to be in this position, and I'm grateful every day. I have to pinch myself sometimes because I've been offered this opportunity to lead the Institute into the future growth.
You're the perfect choice for this time and this project, sir.
Thank you.
Folks, if you can't tell, we're just a little bit excited about the possibilities at the Institute. It has been amazing to me, quite frankly, in my 30 years of doing news and related activities here, to see this grow from theory to what the heck are you talking about? What a building? What? Why? What are they going to do? To get from that point to where we are now, where I can go into that beautiful atrium, which still takes my breath away whenever I walk in there, and hobnob in the lobby to talk to several hundred people before going into a big gala in the Great Hall. It's amazing. I have to pinch myself sometimes to say, well, you're getting old, Chuck. You've been doing this a while, but you've seen this from theory to conception to growth, and now, as you're mentioning, doing things now at the Institute that we just could not have imagined a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. But that's why we dream. We dream big. We shoot for the stars. We tell young people all the time, never let anyone tell you what you can and can't do.
No, yeah.
and just dream. Education is a key. Stay. This is a journey of lifelong learning. Encourage all of our viewers to continue to learn. Always. Even those of us who feel like we're too old to learn any tricks, we're never too old.
Don't look at me when you say that.
Telly, thanks for joining us. Again, All About Danville is, all about Danville in Pennsylvania County. We want to highlight the best this region has to offer and to remind the people that live here of what we have, things that are just under their nose that they don't even notice every day. But also we're reaching out to those who are going to be coming to Danville in the coming months or years. This is what you can look forward to. You're looking at a very forward-thinking community that has a whole lot of irons in the fire and some real innovative thinking. We might have the reputation of not being innovative. No. This right here, the Institute, is just the start of the wonderful economic and really social and cultural backbone of the Danville area. And Telly, thanks so much for sharing it with us. You didn't explain it in 30 words or less, but I didn't expect you to. That's okay. It's a complicated thing, but it's a fun thing. And you guys are doing some great work over there.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Hampton, for having me.
Telly.
It's a pleasure.
Hampton, anything you want to add to this? You have been so involved. You're one of those first ones involved in the idea behind the Institute. I can only imagine how you feel about this.
The best is yet to come, folks.
I'm digging it. Folks, thank you for enjoying All About Danville. We'll have some more guests on soon. And if it's anything like today, you are not going to be able to keep the enthusiasm off of you. Don't. Wear it proudly. You live in Danville. We'll talk to you next time.